Welcome to Two Gents, where two seasoned gents take on the hard truths of life, success, and responsibility. In a world where the rules don't bend for us, these gents believe in doing the work, owning the struggle, and inspiring others to take action. So, pull up a chair.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Two Gents Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ron Spikes. I guess I'm out here on my own for a little while, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and go with the program. And one of the name of the program, and I hope that you paid attention to it because it's just kind of important in what's going on in the world today as we continue to go forward and what we got happening. We need to realize that we got to save the Democratic Party at all costs. I know it may seem like it's a small task. It may seem like it's not our mission. It may seem like we're on this train alone, but we're not. And it's some reasons why we have to save the Democratic Party, because if we don't save them, we're doomed. We are doomed. I've been looking. I don't know if it's me or what's going on. I'm gonna have to do some things behind the scene because I don't see. Oh, I see Pastor A.F. Riggins coming into the show right now. I hope Byron Glass makes it. But it's one of those things where we just got to, the GOP, we can't just give up on it. We just can't. Hey, Pastor, how are you doing?
Hey, good morning. Yes, sir.
Hey, you look like you had a long day.
It's all right, brother. It's all right.
I understand. Hey, we just can't give up on the GOP. We can't give up on the Democratic Party. We have to continue to do things to try to save this party. Even though we may be independents on our end, that doesn't mean that it doesn't need saving, because anytime that you give up and just let one party control the system, you start having many, many problems that's out there. So, Pastor, before we get into it, today is like an open forum. I didn't produce no PowerPoint presentation. I didn't do anything. I just wanted us to jump right in, and wherever our heart took us, I want to go there, because if we don't save this Democratic Party,
yes,
we're done. We're done.
That's right, sir. Matter of fact, they're running a commercial in Texas now, in which they're telling John Cornyn and them to make sure that they keep Medicaid and child tax credit and some other things in place, because it said if we don't, the Republicans are going to lose 2026. They're running a commercial right now.
Mm-hmm.
A political party in Texas, or a political organization, warning that the Republicans are on the ropes for this big, beautiful bill. And if they don't add some more stuff to it, that they know the Republicans are going to lose in 2026. But the point of it is, the Democrats can't take that for granted. They can't assume that everybody's so upset with what's going on that the Republicans automatically lose. Even though the Democrats are up by 8 points in the polling, general polling, they got to put the work in. Because if they don't lose, if the Republicans don't lose in 2026 and win, like Byron Glass says, the country we know now will not be here. See,
yeah, sometimes it doesn't have a leg to stand on, Pastor, because we sit here and we talk about our independence and we proclaim our independence and we go with our independence, but there's so much that's going on out there today that I don't see a response. And I hate to keep harping on this. What is the response? And I look at Jasmine Crockett and I see her. They basically redrew her district where she can't win, or she would have to have a strong foothold in Tarrant County in order to win. But I just don't see it, Pastor. I don't see where she can win. But I don't know what's next. But we have to muster up enough within even our show to just save the Democratic Party. And it may not be our mission, but it should be our goals to save the Democratic Party, because if you're only going with one-sided argument, you're gonna lose.
Let me say something else, though. We might can't save Jasmine Crockett's seat, but we've got to save enough of seats. Like, we can't just put it on a personality. How many Democratic seats can we keep in Texas or gain, or nationwide just to win the House back and hopefully win the Senate. See, that's what they want us to do. They want us to target on personalities, AOC, Jasmine Crockett. No, we ain't got them target on numbers. See, Trump even know that much. I need 5 more here, 3 more here, 2 more there. We got to look at, no matter who the people are, what areas and districts can we, if they're gerrymandering, let's play the same game. 6 more here, 10 more there. Right, that's what we got to look at.
And the thing is the thing with gerrymandering maps is that when you look at it as a whole, you get so focused on it's happening here in Houston. But then if you look at any map that's out there, the blue areas within most states are around main areas, and they call it spider webs because they only hold certain spots within the state. If you look at Texas, Houston, Dallas, and
Houston, San Antonio, and Austin.
Yeah, those areas are the major spots, and it's like a little small spider web that goes out to the suburb communities. But if you look at the nation as a whole, and Pastor, maybe it's a false narrative, but I know they got to do something. But they keep on saying that if they change the way the seats are here in Texas, that California is going to change some of their seats. But California is still, it doesn't have enough cities to make a difference.
They do though. Think about it. If one thing you can bring up now, find a picture of the Electoral College. Can you find a picture right now? If you could search and put on the screen a map of the Electoral College. Can you do that?
Yeah, if you talk, I can try.
And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Because the Electoral College represents the congressional seats, the numbers. I want to show you something. The Electoral College represents that's how you do the Electoral College. You do it based on how many people are in each state in the House of Representatives. That's how Electoral College. When I say Electoral College, people, when we vote for President of the United States, right? The president wins your state. All of the electoral votes from that state goes to the president. Those electoral votes are based on the number of seats in the House from that state. And so I'm going to show y'all why California, why New York, why Illinois, why some of these states can help out. At least California and New York. I'm going to show you why.
Yeah, as soon as I get it pulled up, Pastor.
So let me jump into something else. Why he's doing that? Trump's called out the National Guard to Washington, D.C. It's a twofold thing going on. It's a distraction from the Epstein case. We know that. But more so, this is the beginning of martial law. They discovered that there's a plan been written out to put in place in 2027. Since remember last time when the election was coming up in 2020, he started, okay, you see this? Yeah, spread it out just a little bit bigger. I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. All right, everybody see this, right? Look at Texas. Texas got 40. California got 54. New York has 28. Those are how many seats based on the population. So the biggest state that brings the most House of Representatives is California. It's a blue state. Texas has 40. New York has 28. New York is the next biggest Democratic state. Illinois has 19. You see? So it's showing you how many seats in the House. That's how many seats in the House. Okay. Now, I want you to go back to U.S. election. No. It don't matter if it's red or blue. Red means Trump won, blue means Harris lost. I'm just looking at the numbers. But if you look at these numbers, mostly the states that you see are blue are mostly Democratic states right now. Let me tell you somebody else's Democratic state. Michigan. Michigan is a Democratic state. Even though Trump supposedly won it, And some people say that maybe votes were stolen. Pennsylvania, see that? Pennsylvania 19. Michigan, where's Michigan at? Michigan, that's Minnesota. Michigan, 15. Wisconsin, 10. All those are run by Democratic legislators. Even though Trump won that state, North Carolina, got a lot of Democrats over there too. Some of these states, New Jersey, where New Jersey at? Right by New York. New Jersey, you see where's it at? New York. Do you map? Come on, Riggins. Where's your my geographic stuff? I can't see New Jersey for some reason.
You don't see New Jersey? It's not on the map. I see it to the right. They got 14.
14.
You look to the right of the...
Right. New Jersey governor said he can redraw some districts. These are all Democratic government states. States ran by Democratic governors with enough of people to redistrict. So if he's still out of 40, so he's still 5 out of 40. We don't know how many we have in Texas right now, this Democrat, nor if you could get another map and put congressional districts 2024, if you can find another map.
Okay, I'm gonna try to look for it.
Congressional districts. And you'll see that in California with 55 seats available, in New York with 28 seats available, in Illinois with 19 seats available. There's some gerrymandering can happen. We still 2 seats here, 1 seat there, 2, 3 there. Will offset what Trump is trying to do. And California got the biggest because they got the most seats available to do that. That's why California is saying that.
Yeah, I'm looking for it right now, Pastor.
Yes, sir. So I know Colorado, if they want to go down that road, if they wanted to, could probably move a couple of seats. Okay. And like, see, New Jersey got 14, Pennsylvania 19. Pennsylvania is a Democratic state that Trump won, and that's why some people say when you go back and we really get dig down to the election, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, those 3 states may have been some stuff going on shouldn't be going on. Votes disappearing.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find a good a map there to do it because really.
Right.
But I think that you make a good point, Pastor. I looking at the map as it is right now while I'm looking for this other map. Yeah. California does have a lot of areas in which they can redistrict and try to do it within. Yeah. But if you compare California and Texas and maybe New York, just think about it. If Kamala could have carried Texas, she would have been the next president.
No, all Kamala had to carry. Look, Texas got 40, right?
Yeah.
Pennsylvania got 19. Wisconsin got 10. That's what? 39. See, they stole. Man, I hate to say it like this.
Come on, Pastor. Just say it like you feel like it is.
The election
was stolen. Open topic night.
I believe the election was stolen, but I don't want to say it flat out without proof. But there's a whole lot of questionable. Well, a lot of these districts, Democrats won, and Kamala was the only one that lost. And less people voted in these states that voted in 2020. In Pennsylvania. If you notice, look, Michigan. Michigan never really was decided. You see how it's striped like that? Mm-hmm. Arizona, same thing. Joe Biden won Arizona. Joe Biden won Nevada the first time around. He won Michigan. These states are still up to really saying, okay, they gave it to Trump because it's red, but did Trump really win him? And
yeah, and you know, they gave it to Trump, but a lot of the states that I'm looking at on there, it really wasn't a win. Because if you look at it, the way the map is set up, and I'm trying to copy and paste. Mm-hmm. The way the map is set up, we really, you should pay attention to what we witnessed on that night when Kamala lost, she lost, but people think that that Trump just took over. Yeah, he took over the states that's up there with the lowest numbers. But if you look at it, like up in this red, those states only got 6. Utah 6. Nevada had, what is it, 6, 11, 4. He had to get everything except for the majority of states that Pastor Reagan stated earlier: New York, New Jersey, California, and this is really deceiving, Pastor, in a way.
Oh yeah. See, people don't understand. That's why every vote counts, though, because remember, if your state win the vote by 1 vote, the president gets the candidate gets all of it. If 1 vote wins in Texas, he gets all 40.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. See that? Look at that. There you go. So look here. In Texas, you see where it's light, pink almost.
In Texas?
That's pink. That's the suburbs. You see those blue dots you talking about? Houston?
Yeah, the spider webs they call them.
Houston, Dallas. You see that? Laredo and El Paso. You see that? You see that? That's where the Democrats at. See that?
Yeah, I see.
Look at California. Blue, 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 blue. Get to Los Angeles, it's dark, dark blue like Houston and Texas, Houston and Dallas. But all that blue up there, all you gotta do is pink. Take some of them shades of light pink. He could redistrict and put them into the blue. Because all they're gonna do in Texas is what his dark blue is try to shade some of them to light pink and take some of the sleep away.
And that's the way that they changed the narrative. They switched the narrative and see, as I listen to most of the major media channels out there, and I like to refer back to them, Pastor, because we need to make sure that they're giving out the right information, because I think they're getting caught up in this issue with and not saying that it's not important with the Epstein list, but they're getting caught up in the Epstein list. But why they getting caught up in the Epstein list? They're manipulating numbers behind the scenes. They're doing Texas, and they have an agenda to go somewhere else too, right after they get through with this. And we can't just allow ourselves to. We said it last week, and I'm gonna say it again on this show. You can't allow yourself to go with their narrative. Look here, look here, look here. Not over here. Don't look over here, because we got something else going that we got prepared for you. And Pastor, I think they do a real good job of misdirecting where they want the American public to go.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy, brother.
It's scary. No, it's scary in a sense, because the real reason why we're doing this show is because if we don't, and I want to get to the nitty and the gritty of it, as old people used to say, if we don't attempt to save the Democratic Party, we're not going to attempt to save the current members in there, but they need to adopt a program or programs where they're attempting to save themselves. It doesn't seem like they're attempting to save themselves. It's like they on this individual rampage, and every once in a while they raise their head up for air, like almost like a dolphin. The dolphin swims in the ocean, then every so often raises his head up for air just to see what the weather's like.
Right.
And that's the way the Democratic Party seems like that's their mission, is to raise their head up for air every once in a while and just kind of test the waters and stuff. And I don't know. I find myself sometimes, and even when I go into my other programs and I just want to get information out, and information that says, you have to, and it boils back down to what my brother was saying, and he's a starch hard. Oh, I ain't gonna tell you, but he's on the other side. Let me just say that we have to save the Democratic Party if we want fair and equal opportunity in this United States. That because by the time you erect a independent party, it's not going to be as strong as the two parties that's out there. So somehow we're going to have to mold and cultivate where we at and make that work. And Pastor, it's going to take everything that we got on this end.
Yes, sir.
It's going to take everything that we got in the national media.
Yes,
if
sir.
you listening in, if you doing what you always do, just take what you want to take from this show and put it out there and rebox it and put it in your own language. Do whatever you have to do. But in the end, I hope that your message is clear, that we have to save this party. That's the closest thing to the Republican Party. It may take everything that you got or every thought pattern, or you're going to have to get Pookie and all of them out to the polls to vote. And you need to start getting Pookie and them ready now. Mm-hmm. You got to. Blue Sky, whatever you call your kids. Now, Remy Martin or whatever you want to name them, you need to get them ready to vote.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you what. If we do not put a check on this presidency, we're moving into an authoritarian government. Like I said, in 2020, you had a lot of these para groups was going out with these black SUVs in the middle of these rides, starting up rides and everything. Now he's going to come with the military, National Guard. He's starting in Washington, D.C. That's a test ground. He'll be in Philadelphia. He'll be in Chicago. He'll be in Detroit. He'll try to come to Harris County, Houston, Los Angeles. Cracking down. Because, see, the brown skin, he's trying to send back over there. African-American skin, the black skin, he's trying to put us in prison. Flushes out. I'm telling you. You say, Pastor, is it that base? Well, that's the kind of thinking he has. He's that kind of man. He's based, he's ground level, no intelligence to a certain extent, and vindictive all at the same time. The lowest crime in Washington, D.C. in 30 years. And he's acting like he has to stamp out crime over there. It's a black mayor there, you see. African-American mayor. See? Mm-hmm. In all those other cities, he's the African-American mayor. It's Karen Bass in Los Angeles, African-American mayor. See? So that's the issues going on.
Yeah, I agree with you. Sometimes you have to drive your point home, and you have to realize the reason why you're fighting out there. You see this is my grandson here.
Oh, wow.
I want him to grow up in a world where he can live, he can survive, and he can go about his business. And he's visiting with me before he has school tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to bring him on. He was knocking at the door. He was in there by himself. So I brought him in here with me. But this is the reason why we do what we do today. This is the reason why Pastor Riggins and Byron Glass, we all have kids, and we get on here and we do this thing. This is my grandchild. Say hi, JoJo.
Hi.
Hi, hey, JoJo. Nice to meet you, man.
He can't hear you, Pastor, but he can see you.
Right.
Pastor, say hi. It's nice to meet you.
Pastor?
Yeah, that's Pastor Riggins right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Go back in there and watch your show. But thank you for coming in. And if you need to come back in, come back in.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because you have your earphones in. You can hear.
Yeah. I got my earphones in. He can't hear you. But Pastor, that's the reason why we struggle. That's the reason why we talk.
That is not our future. That's today.
Yeah. No, we're today. They're the future.
No. But no. I'm making it even more prevalent. We're going off the scenes. They are today leading to the future. If we just say they're the future, I understand what you're saying. They're going to grow up and become adults, but we're fighting for them today.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Our fight is today.
They are as I tell them in my church, the young people are the church of today.
Mm-hmm.
You say the young people are the church of the future. If you're waiting to become the future, you're going to lose them.
Mm-hmm.
We got to make it that they are who we're trying to save today. Because how old is JoJo?
JoJo's 8.
10 years from now, I can vote. But we can't wait 10 years to get it right.
Yeah.
See what I'm trying to say?
I understand exactly what you're trying to say. And that goes back to, Pastor, as I look at this thing, and this is where I go with it. Truth without staying any lie that's out there. Mm-hmm. But here's the narrative. Here's the thing that the Republican Party, they tell so many lies that when the Democrats come out with truth, it almost look like they're tripping over themselves. We at some point we got to realize that we, as pastors say, we got to stop looking to Dr. Martin Luther King. We got to stop looking to Malcolm X. They laid the path. Mm-hmm. But at some point, we got to pick up the narrative and move with it. We got to stop looking for somebody to come up and be this great hope. Mm-hmm. And within the churches that pastors in, within any small group, in a small family gathering, we got to challenge ourselves to reach out to people within those things, within those atmospheres or environments. And I like to say this, Pastor, and when I used to go behind trail rides and everything, I used to see all those people up there hooping and hollering and going on left and right. And I don't want to criticize them, but that's a good opportunity to get the word out about voting. Mm-hmm. That's a good opportunity to come on stage, even if they just took out 30 minutes of their time and educated those people on voting, because they're the ones that these laws affect. They're the ones that these executive orders affect more than anybody else. Yeah, they're having a good time right now, but you won't be able to have a good time if you don't pay attention to what's going on around you.
Here's what I'm tell you, man. Listen, we play well, we recreate well, we know how to entertain ourselves, but we don't work hard enough. If we do work, we're working to make money and we're working to survive, but we don't work hard enough to become who we ought to be and to be involved in our own destiny as African Americans, I think. I love trail riding. It's fun. But just as much as I trail ride, I put the work in as a pastor. 10 times more. I put the work in, that's what we're doing right now. 5 and 7 times more. I'm never going to put in more. No more. I'm never going to put in more than I do as my ministry, because God's always first. But this is part of my ministry, extension of it, outside the 4 walls. As much as I want to have fun, I'm going to put the time in to make sure that I'm leaving my mark on the world for my people to be a better people, or to have a better community, to impact my community, my city, my world, or for people to know how to have a better life based on the Bible. And even when we do this now, politically speaking, socially speaking, I'm coming from the point of view is, what can we do is right, based on not no hook or crook, not no cutting corners or trying to do will and deal, but based on what we know the truth to be, because the word of God is more than just what you do in a worship service. It's about life. It's about life. So if what we're doing is right, God's pleased at it. And if somebody's doing wrong, we got to try to stop it. If the current administration was doing nothing wrong, we wouldn't have nothing to complain about. But if wrong is there, we've got to stop it, or at least expose it, and try to put what's right in place.
And you're right.
But playing, having fun is one thing. But put in more time, getting stuff done is what I want to do.
As Byron Glass always say, if we don't put in the work here, if we don't put in the work in our environment, if we don't stop the lies, if we don't try to educate the people, if we don't try to do anything, if we don't try to get people into the next election cycle that's coming up, we're doomed. Because I'm telling you, they got all the purse strings. Yeah. Think about it. Here's an example, a big example of them having the purse strings here in Texas. They haven't put nobody in the 18th congressional district. They talk about gerrymandering, but here's the other thing. If those Democrats come back, they still gonna have to vote.
Yeah.
They still gonna have to vote, and they outnumbered. They know that. but they're trying to call attention to what's going on here. So maybe in the future, if the Republicans try the same tactic, it happens that you can be prepared for it coming to your state or your district or whatever parish or whatever. Because even in Louisiana, you only got two parties. Glass sent me that information earlier.
Yeah, but
you only got two parties, Democrats and Republicans.
They will call attention to it so they can activate California, New York, New Jersey, Michigan, Illinois, to activate some of those Democratic states to do the same thing. That's all they're trying to do. That way they can offset. That's why I brought that map up there.
Mm-hmm. The other thing, Pastor, is that you mentioned earlier, and I didn't mean to walk over, but I was trying to find something, and you brought it up in the middle of me researching. It's nothing going on in Baltimore. It's almost like he's setting the table for what you said.
Washington, D.C., you mean?
Washington, D.C.
Yes, sir.
There's nothing going on there, but he's setting the table. And in case y'all didn't hear, the real reason why he did it is because the little guy that was on Doge, he went out in the neighborhood running his mouth talking about how many people he put out of work and everything. And another 15, now he's 19, but another 15-year-old and somebody else got into it with him and they beat him up pretty bad. So all of a sudden, it's a crisis in Washington, D.C. So now you bring in the National Guard, but you don't really tell the people the reason why you're doing it, but you go ahead and do it and you enact that. But what it says is what it goes back to. You remember what we were talking about in earlier shows, Pastor Regans? Mm-hmm. I think he said, I have to agree with you. He kind of setting the stage for martial law.
Yes, sir. Yes. They said they even found documents in which they try to map out what cities they're going to do it in 2027.
Yeah.
But if you have the right Congress in place, they could pass laws to try to subvert that martial law.
And that's what the Democrats need to be doing. They need to be saying, you know what? He's sending those troops to D.C. He got them standing there. Well, he could do the same thing. He'd send them to California. Mm-hmm. You know, that's a precedent that he's establishing, that he's showing you that he has control to do it. But there again, Pastor, I want to save them, but they trip over their own feet. Mm-hmm. You know, you want to give money, they trip over their own feet. You want to encourage people to get behind them. Mm-hmm. Then the next day they trip over their own feet. You got to do something that gets their attention, and this could get their attention if you just focus on this alone. The National Guard out there, call it what you want to call it, mm-hmm. But they're redirecting every time that you get focused on something. They're redirecting you to here. They're directing you where they want you to go, and you can't continue to do that. Find something, because as I looked at Jasmine Crockett and I looked at AOC, and I know Byron Glass loves AOC, but you know, as I look at them, their own party's not getting behind them. Mm-mm. And I don't understand that. I really don't, Pastor. Maybe I need some help. I need somebody to try to explain to me.
The party behind them, because they believe the big time donors with the big time money don't want to be that radical. It always come back to the money. They don't believe that the big time donors, that has the big dollars, the $1 million, billion dollars, the multi-million dollars, they can get behind campaigns, get behind political causes, don't want to be on the fringes. They want to be mainstream. And they're thinking AOC and Jasmine Crockett is on the fringes. That's why Bernie Sanders could draw all them big crowds, but never could get the main Democratic Party, the money behind him to run for president against a Republican. He would have won easily. But all the stuff he was saying was on the fringes. And they're thinking that, hey, he's too radical to put our money behind him. He's a socialist. And so it is with them. Jasmine Crockett is allowed to them, negatively speaking, a very intelligent, loudmouth African-American woman who doesn't know her place.
And you think that's what they determine, that's the way they look at it, as a loudmouth African-American woman who doesn't know her place?
Right. She has the right. She knows what she's talking about, but she's not the right vessel. I'm hating to say it. I don't agree with her. And some of them like the way she's bringing them fire. But if you say stand behind her right now, let's walk out with her hand in hand. They'll secretly tell her, I believe what you're saying, but I'm worried about the money behind me that might leave.
And you know, that's the thing.
AOC, same thing. She's AOC. I know what her background really is, as far as her pet. You know, like what I'm trying to look for, her demographics. I don't think she's just look as an Anglo-American woman. You know.
Yeah, because even one of the things that I noticed about both of them, they say that within the Democratic Party, they only garner about 20% of the Democratic Party that follows them, and it's 80% of the people that's out there that's in the Democratic Party that's not behind them. Right. But the 80% that's not following her, they're not making no noise out there. And I see. And my favorite person, I'm gonna call his name, Haywood Jeffries. What's his name?
Hakeem Jeffries.
Hakeem Jeffries. I was talking about the football player.
Yeah.
Haywood Jeffries from the. There used to be an Oiler, but
right.
Hakeem Jeffries. I mean, I listened to his speech. I see his frustration, but I don't see it resonating with people that don't listen. That don't follow him. I don't see it resonate. I can see it resonating with people that probably from the district in which he came from. Yeah. But I don't see it resonating with people in other areas. It's not coming across maybe like a Jasmine Crockett or AOC or something like that. But he's trying to get traction. I noticed that he's coming on a lot of different medias. He's showing up in different places, but I just don't see people gravitating to him.
Here's the problem. It's resonating with people who got the money, but it's not resonating with people who got the vote.
Okay.
The Democratic Party got a problem. They know how to get the money. Cameron raised $1 billion in 90 days.
Mm-hmm.
But they can't get that money to translate to who's pulling the lever. Now, to be honest, I believe that in presidential election, some of the levers that was pulled was erased. It'll play out. Whether it take 2 or 3 years, we'll find out how Elon Musk and whoever was all involved stole that election. But that's for another day, because we're where we at right now. $1 billion was raised and she lost, whether it was stolen or not. What I'm saying is that we know how to raise the money, but can we get people to come out there and vote?
I guess I got a question for you, Pastor. Yes, can we get the people to support the Democratic Party after everything that has happened? Now, I'm not going to call out no names. I'm not going to call out situations or nothing like that. But can we get people to support? And I want to phrase it like this. Our forefathers, our mothers, our grandmothers, even as Byron Glass said, his mother, you know, they gave something.
Yeah.
To create this Democratic Party.
Yeah.
Can we get that back? Can we get people to believe in the Democratic Party like our forefathers and our foremothers or that generation? Can we get them back?
We're trying. Here's the deal, man. We've got to find a way to let them know that if we don't win, if you think it's bad now, it's going to be worse. What we got on our side is low job numbers. Trump fires a person who put out the job numbers. What we got on our side is instability with Russia and Ukraine, Gaza and Israel. What we got on our side is the White House got full of confusion almost every day about stuff that don't make sense. And stuff like he's doing, send out the troops. We got enough of factors working against the Republicans that if we halfway try, we ought to win. In other words, there's just enough of negativity that's been garnered by the Trump administration that's playing into our favor. But we got to go out there and activate the vote. Don't just complain about it.
So Pastor, I want to get your opinion and on the subject real quick, because mine's is I used to jump all over. And you've been knowing me for a while. Sometimes I like to get in the middle and just stay in the middle and not go left or right. But I can't afford to do that at this time. I don't think as a people we can afford to do that at this time. They're taking away options, as we mentioned earlier in Louisiana. It's only Democrats and Republicans. They're taking away your options. You may not be able to stand as an independent. You can vote for who you want to vote for, but at what cost? At the midterm elections, what are we sacrificing? And where are we at, Pastor?
At the midterm elections, whether you're independent, Democrat, it's important that the Democrats win. Independents can't win it. So we need to jump on the boat that we know is going to save our country. Run with the Democrats. Get them in place. And then we can work out how we're going to do the game plan. See, a lot of times we were fussing about what the Democrats going to do. How they going to stop Trump? Nothing can be done. Don't worry about all that part. Get in place. You can't get in place. You're not qualified to do anything. King Jefferson, as weak as it may appear, as naive as it may appear, we need him to be Speaker of the House. Then we can teach him how to be the Speaker of the House. See? Chuck Schumer, he's been there before. They were in control and then they lost it again. Get it back. Get the Senate back. And then somebody can go in and show him what we need to do with the Senate. Don't placate to the Republicans no more. Once you get it, full throttle down, hands down, because that's what they're doing to us.
Yeah. We're gonna have to do something, Pastor, because and I know we're talking about it. Everyone that's within our listening voice should be talking about it. Yeah. We have to do something we have to do something to get the Democratic Party moving in the right direction, because if we don't do it, we're doomed. And I hate to say it, but the Democrats say it best when they say, if you don't vote for our guy, you just casting a vote for the other team. It's at that point right now. If we don't save this party, and I mean save it, we got to save it. We got to look back at what we can't just look at their mistakes. We can't just direct them on which way to go. We need to come up with ideas, solutions, and try to gather our thoughts and our people and our kids and everybody to make sure that we have a two-party system in the United States. While we want an independent party, the United States is not ready for it right now.
Yes.
But it's gonna have a solo party out there, and they're ready to take charge. The Republican Party. But they're not gonna have anybody to hold them accountable.
That's right. Right. And that's what they want. They want no accountability. And they want to turn into a pseudo-democracy, which means a false democracy with an authoritarian government. I got the word out right now. Authoritarian government headed by Donald Trump. And if he don't survive it, whether physically or whatever, setting up a J.D. Vance to do it for 8 years.
Yeah, and I'm gonna read this statement because I think this is relevant to where we at right now. Like it or not, the U.S. needs functional opposition to prevent one-party rule. Fixing the Democratic or changing the voting rules to allow new parties is the only way to avoid long-term. What's that word you use, Pastor? Authoritarian
government
drift. And that's where we drift into. We drift into authoritarian power, where we're not gonna have the ability to come back and correct it, because we didn't. If they get it in 2026, it's gone. It's going. You're gonna have to raise the sale. You're gonna have to do. If you sell it on a yacht, you got to put the mainsail. Cause it's all an uphill battle. You got the mainsail up right now, and ain't no wind in it.
Right, because he's gonna use his power to try to stay in office, if not stay in office, to make sure JD Vance wins by hook or crook.
Yeah.
You know. And then we're stuck.
And I got to read this next one because I didn't bring it up. I didn't want to bring it up, but I need to make sure that y'all understand and we're staying focused. If the Dems suddenly fell apart, buckle up because the GOP would have the whole sandbox to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like being in a sandbox and you the only child in there. You building and tearing down. You building and tearing down. You building and tearing down. I got a telephone call in the background. Well, I'm gonna tell you, Pastor, I can see who it is. So I just want to tell you, Pastor, talk for a few minutes. I'm gonna take this telephone call.
Right, yes, okay. All right. Yes, so let me say something. One of the weaknesses I saw that occurred in the 2024 election was that the DNC was raising a lot of money. They did a lot of talk shows. They made themselves visibly, and they talked a good game. They even had a ground game for elections, but they wasn't looking at it, watching their backside for the Republicans to try to pull dirty tricks or to try to use all type of sleight of hand and maybe even some tactics that even stole the election. They wasn't ready for that. And that's why it took so long for Kamala Harris to concede. She could see what happened. But Joe Biden was not ready for what happened and had no response to it. Which means that in 2026, they've got to be ahead of the game.
Mm-hmm.
We got to be ahead of the game that we don't let what happened in 2024 happen again. For as a sleight of hand, the purging of the rolls, all of the different tactics they use to try to steal the election. Because now every seat is up for grab, and a third of the Senate is up for grab. If we win the House and the Senate, we then can attack Donald Trump how we need to stop some of the stuff he's doing. Because Supreme Court.
Pastor, can I ask you a question? Do you think if we don't continue our actions, if we don't continue this fight, if we don't get on the fringes and try to support our Democratic Party, do you think that we'll ever recover?
Man, I don't see it. If we lose 2026, it'll be almost impossible to win in 2028. So there you stuck with 4 years of Trump, and then if he concedes that he's too old, he can't do it, he's gonna put JD Vance in, we could be looking at 16 years of this. Which means basically, I'm 57. And so we already did 1 year now, right? So let's say 56 plus 16 is what? 72. I'll be 72 years old. God bless me, I'll still be living. And I want to know we'd have a real America that we knew when I was 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
See, my name be the America we knew. Might have to go live in Canada or something like that. Because all we've had so far is how many months? January to August, basically 7 months. Imagine 16 years of this.
Yeah, and I can tell you, as much as we may hate it here, and I know y'all hear me on time, top of time, talking about how bad it is. But if you're sitting in that sandbox and the only person that's in that sandbox while you playing, it's gonna be a sad situation. And it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be extra hard because then you got to wait another additional period of time to recover from. And that's the reason why we're trying to get you to wake up now. That's one of the reasons why we restarted this show, was to get you to wake up and look at things that's going on around you and make a difference. Because here's the deal. We're volunteering to do this on our own time. Pastor is a full-time school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to do this. Byron Glass works in Louisiana. He's always traveling, going to state to fight for different issues that's around there. He's doing all this stuff, and then they still take their time to come on this air. And a lot of times, even Pastor, I didn't even know this. even on Urban View, most of those people don't get a paycheck.
Oh yeah, I know.
They don't get a paycheck.
Right.
They're doing basically the same thing, but they got a bigger audience than what we do.
And they got blessed to have a channel, so they don't have to pay no money, but they're getting paid is they're getting free radio time.
Yeah. And they get to come in your houses, they get to come in your cars, they get to come on your satellite radio, and they're doing the same thing that we're trying to do. But somehow we need to magnify this to a point where we need to drive home a point. And me and Pastor can't get out there and knock on every American door that's out there. We can't do it. But what we can do is what we say all the time. If we could just reach one person, if we can get one person, we've done our job. But I'm going to tell you what's going on out there now, Pastor. We need to reach more than one.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when you was in that church and you was in North Carolina and you was making, and I looked at you and I understood the discussion that was going on, but it's almost the same discussion that we're having tonight. We need to save something,
right,
in order for there to be good competition out there, not just that bully sitting in the sandbox that won't let nobody in. And that's basically what you got to look at this thing. Is this a bully in the sandbox, and every time you try to step in, he's just pushing you out. He won't let you sit at the table. So, Pastor, I don't know how we get that to go with people that's out there. I don't know how we continue to go down this path. It's almost like and I'm gonna compare it to this. It's almost like getting up in front of a pulpit every day. You don't have nobody out there, but you're still preaching.
Yeah,
you're still trying to teach. You know that there's some good in what you're saying. You know that your message should be heard by any and everybody out there, that you're trying to save their souls. Well, we're not trying to save your souls. We're trying to get you to understand that here on earth that you have an obligation to save the election process, and we need to have that resonate, go out to people. And I don't know how to do it. I don't have no bat light where I can put up in the air at night and expect y'all to participate, but somehow you need to figure it out. We need to figure it out. We can't hide no more. All of that stuff of running, hiding, doing this and this, that, and the other, and while you out there going on cruise ships, getting kicked out. Why don't you take some time and just invest it into getting one person or going back, knocking on some doors or something, say, look, I realize that you're on the opposite side. I realize every time that we start talking, we start having the argument. But I need you to understand that if we don't change the narrative's going to change for us, and we ain't going to have an opportunity to get it back.
That's right.
If you don't get nothing else out of these shows that we're doing, you should get that. And I'm not going to go ahead, Pastor.
Man, it puzzles me of what interests people. A lot of the people, this doesn't interest them because they can't see the tangible right in their face.
Pastor, go ahead and talk for a minute. I got to step out for just a minute.
Right, issue that we have going on in America. Because first of all, the basic foundation of them letting or allowing a man with 37 felonies to run for president of the United States, that should have been stopped right then. All of the big crimes that he did that was federally, he now made them go away. Spygate, the Mar-a-Lago, the riot in Washington, D.C. on January 6, 2021, and let everybody out of prison that was involved. Matter of fact, it's crazy. So when you're looking at what has been allowed, it takes that much harder to get people involved to reverse it. Now, excuse my eyes. If you notice, my eyes droopy. I'm still dealing with this sty deal. It's a lot better than last week, but we're here. We allow them to control the narrative, control who wins and don't win, and then he takes the actual control of how trying to control the cities. It's very important that we march inconveniently, that we do stuff that inconvenience us. We take off work that might hurt our pocketbook. We stand up and get involved with the least of these, as Jesus said.
Mm-hmm.
We prove that we're worth our salt. While he's worried about the rich getting richer and classism and racism, and we're worried about people of all nation, kindred, tongue, background, educational levels, learning what it means to be in America and to experience the American dream, not so much financially, but why can't you experience it with reaching your destiny and your goal of who you want to be in life, not trying to fight somebody that's trying to destroy your very essence of being. That's what we look like we're doing. We have to deal with this administration. And that's why it's important that you vote.
Thank you, Pastor. You know what? You drove the point home, and that's what people need to hear, because as we go through this, and again, I have to apologize. I had to get up because when I had to open up the door for my daughter, she was coming in, and again, that's another generation, as we was talking about, Pastor.
Yeah, right.
We're doing this work for them,
Yeah.
and we have to continue to put forth the effort. We have to continue to encourage, not discourage people, and get them to see that it's important. We got to save this. It ain't on nobody else. We can't look for this white knight to swing in and riding horses and all the rest of that. We can't look for that.
Mm-hmm.
Our Savior, you looking at him. Go to your mirror. Stand up in your mirror in the morning and say, I got to do something.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's mentioned it one time. Because one of the things that I say, and I'm gonna say this where you can understand.
Yes, sir.
We need those sororities to get involved. We need sororities. We need those sorority brothers that threw on that regalia.
Fraternity.
Go ahead.
Fraternity and sororities. Fraternity and sororities.
Yeah, fraternity and sororities
right.
to get involved. We need every action that we can get out there, and any chance that you get. We need the leaders, the elected leaders that's out there that's part of the Democratic Party. We need them to go out and encourage people to come out. We need to do that.
Yeah.
Those kind of things make a difference. Every time that you get an opportunity to go to a pulpit, get an opportunity to go on the show, you need to encourage people to come out and vote and try to participate in what's going on. You need to make them aware. I don't think they make them aware because what are they afraid of telling them? That if we don't change this in 2026, it's gone.
Yeah.
You need to tell them that you may not like what I'm saying. You may not like what I've done in the past, but you elected me to this office, so I got to tell you the truth. I got to hold you accountable and tell you the truth. And sometimes the truth has to stand on its own, Pastor.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My grandmother said, right will always win.
Yeah.
Might be a long time coming, but right will always win. That's what that song, people don't understand Sam Cooke.
Yeah.
You ever watch there's the Netflix movie on Sam Cooke. You need to watch that. People need to watch it. And even in real life, in his album and music, there's an album put out called Two Sides of Sam Cooke. I'm going to show you how art imitates life. Art imitates life. Sam Cooke was a gospel singer with the Soul Stirrers. My daddy's favorite gospel singer.
Mm-hmm.
The heyday. Then Sam Cooke crossed over into R&B. And let me tell you something. Just because I'm a pastor don't mean that I hate on R&B. So some spiritual people or religious people don't want to listen to R&B music, saying all of it doesn't do well for us. But it depends on what you're listening to and why you're listening to it. They got a lot of good messages in all music. Because some gospel songs are not good for you either. I'm not going to go into that either. If you got the wrong message, because it's called labeled a gospel song. If you got a message that's not really grounded in truth, it sounds good, but it won't help you. So I always come straight down the middle. But Sam Cooke, art imitating life. It's been a long time coming. And he talks about going down to the movies. They say, we don't want you down here. Because what he was referring to was Sam Cooke in his life ended up dating women of another race, the majority race. And during this time, that was illegal in a lot of places and frowned on in almost all places. and literally lost his life behind it. Now, some of the circumstances around it might have been some things that were going on that was wrong morally, but he wouldn't have lost his life if it had been a woman of his same color. You just gotta go read the his story and life and study the history of Sam Cooke. But the song, A Long Time Coming, is what I'm getting at. But a change is gonna come. Sometimes it takes a long time for the right or the truth to be impactful. A long time coming. But a change is gonna come.
Oh man. Yeah. You just took me back to Byron Glass in his thing. You took me back to one of Byron's Glass's song, and he always played that song.
Right. And what he did, Byron Glass found everybody who could sing it. Every version. You have Al Green sung it at one point. I think even was Sam Cooke's friend. If you think you're lonely now, wait until the night.
You're not talking about Bobby Womack, I hope.
Bobby Womack was his friend. I think he made a version of it.
Yeah.
Dietrich Haddon, a gospel singer. Dietrich Haddon, a gospel singer, made a version of it. A lot of people made a version of it. I have it in my repertoire to sing. You know, I try to sing. You know that. If you ever watch me on Sunday mornings, I try to sing. Under the anointing, I'm all right. Without the anointing, that's another whole thing. But in my repertoire, I have A Long Time Coming. I've never really reached out there and sang it yet, but I have it there because I like the words of the song. Okay? By the Clouds of Joy sang it. A lot of people sang it. Look at that. Another grandchild line.
Yeah, that's my baby grandchild. She eating the animal crackers.
What's her name? How old is she?
Huh?
What's her name?
She's 18 months, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's 18 months. My daughter's sitting right behind me. She pointed at that Democratic map up there, Pastor.
What's her name?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
What's your granddaughter's name?
Rebecca.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
18 months. Now, once again, even though she's our future in age, she's who we need to work for now.
Yeah.
We can't wait. Yeah. We can't wait for the future.
Wait, Rebecca.
Now. We're doing now. She saw them colors on that map and she liked those colors on that map.
Yeah, she liked them colors on that map.
So we're trying to change that map to make it more blue than red. We need more blue than red, Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know. See, she's telling you need more blue and red. More blue than red.
Yeah. But this is why we do what we do.
Hey, Pastor, I want to introduce you to somebody. I know you see my family before at my mother-in-law's funeral. Yeah. But this is my youngest here. I'm gonna try to get in the picture.
Yeah, well, good to see you again.
I know she can't hear anything because I got the earplugs in, but that's my youngest, and she's one of the ones that we're talking about voting. This is her daughter, and that was my grandson. So
what year was that?
I'm just telling you, I got family around me. Y'all gonna have to excuse me, but they are always there. I'm glad to have them around me. Hey, all right, Rebecca, I'm gonna have to let you go back to your mama real quick, because. All right.
What year was that?
Okay.
Huh? What year was that? It slipped my mind. What year was that?
What was that?
When I met your family, for the.
Oh, Pastor, don't get me started. I'm not good with dates. But I tell you what it's about. We Pastor Riggins, what he's talking about is that he conducted my mother-in-law's funeral for us, and we really appreciate it. It was he did a good job, and we just asked him, and he said, yes, I'll do it. No problem, Ron. I'll do it. We were on Blog Talk Radio at that time, so I just want to tell you.
Yes, sir. I didn't bring it for emotional. Since you had made reference to it, I'm letting the people know that you and I, we're not new to this.
No.
We're true to this.
Absolutely.
We've been doing this a long time, trying to make a change. We might not see each other physically in person so often, but ever since I had a tragedy in my family of my son passing away, Ron has texted me every day with something inspirational, something spiritual, or something motivational. And that's what That now when the tragedy, when he had the death in his family years ago, me helping him was a seed in the ground that I was going to need later, that I didn't know I was going to need. See?
Yeah, we go back a long ways, and one of the things that I want y'all to realize is that we had congressmen, we had people that were running for Congress on here. We've had people that almost got elected into office. We've had Byron Glass, an elected official for over 34 years, that he's finally deciding to step down. That we even had, and I'm gonna tell you, Dick Gregory came on here on this platform through golly, he gonna kill me. I ain't gonna even butcher his name, but Bishop Guillory out of California, Compton, California. He brought Dick Gregory on, not once but twice. So we've done some things, but we're the same things that we were talking about back then is relevant today, because when Hillary was running, we were trying to encourage people to get out and vote and support Hillary at that time. But what happened in the sandbox is that this FBI director decided to throw a bomb in the sandbox toward the end, and it directed people away. Some people say she would have never won, but I guarantee if that subject matter wouldn't have came out when it did, talking about timely, that was timely. They didn't care. They wasn't worried about trying to save the party. They wasn't worried about trying to do anything. They destroyed that woman.
But let me tell you something else. Another reason why she lost. Why did she lose? What did I tell y'all why she lost? And it came out about a year later. The Mueller report. You remember that? The Russians and
what, Pastor?
The Mueller report.
Yeah.
You know what I told y'all about the election and the machines and all that stuff? And the Mueller report tells all of that. And how Trump tried to cover it up. Yeah.
Pastor, I got 2 doors in my study, and my granddaughter just pushed open both of them. She came back. Her mama was anyway. My granddaughter just pushed open both doors.
You're a YouTuber.
I know, baby. I know. You're gonna have to let me talk for a minute, because I'm trying to save. I'm trying to get your generation to understand that y'all got to get out and vote. You gonna vote? Are you gonna vote?
She's a YouTuber.
Yeah, her father's trying to get their little setup going, Pastor, and that's the newest thing that's out there. As soon as she gets effective on it, he's trying to get their family into the YouTube family bunch, because if everybody else can do it, he can do it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try to get a little segment on there where I'm telling people to get out and vote. I'm gonna use my granddaughter. I'm gonna say, vote for her. Vote Democratic, because that's our future.
That's our future.
That's our future, and we got to realize that we're not doing it just for ourselves, and that's the thing that I think that most people don't understand, is that you're doing it for your family. You're doing it for your family, and Pastor, I'm gonna say this, and I need this because I know you understand. Prayer works.
Yes, sir. Prayer still works.
Works at all times. Don't y'all ever forget that. Prayer works. And don't you ever think that you're above anybody when you go out and pray, because sometimes you never know the situation that some people are in. So you have to continue praying. And that's the thing that I want to say also, that we have to continue praying, because if you get down on your knees and pray every night, and we continue to pray for the Democratic Party and everything that's going on, prayer will change things.
Yes, sir.
And I got a witness here today. Am I right, Pastor?
Yes, sir. Amen. I'm a living witness. Let me tell you. And I want to let y'all know, ironically, Ron and I live in the greater Houston area. But I only know Ron because of Barron, who lives in Louisiana. Barron and I went to college together, hadn't seen each other. And when I went to college, I really didn't know Barron like that.
What were y'all? Wait, Pastor. Let's take this all back together. What did you do in college that I need you to tell it, because it's what we're trying to do right now with the Democratic Party. Go ahead and tell that little bit.
Man, I went to Northeast Louisiana University. It's called University of Louisiana Monroe now. Let me slow down. I always talk fast and stutter. If I told God I want to be a preacher, he said, no. Moses did the same thing. But anyway, I went to Northeast Louisiana University, and for the first time in my life, racism said, pow, slap me in the face. I grew up in Southwest Louisiana, and you could tell where there were some incidents or some themes of racism. But in Southwest Louisiana, the Creoles and the Cajuns kind of mix in a little bit, you know. But so the African Americans just kind of know their place without really saying nothing. It's passive aggressive. But in North Louisiana, it's not passive aggressive. It is straight on, full blown. You could tell that racism was rampant. Matter of fact, we never celebrate Juneteenth in Southwest Louisiana, but Juneteenth had to be celebrated in North Louisiana.
Can I share something with you, Pastor?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you how naive I was. I was in the service, and I came home, and I was in Atlanta, Georgia, and I came home during the June period of time. And when I came home, doing my granddaughter's about to pull cables. Yeah. But anyway, when I came home doing this, I was in the service. You know, I had never heard of Juneteenth.
Right.
My family never celebrated.
Right. I never heard it till I was in college, right? So I looked around the campus, and we had 10,000 people on the campus. And I think of the 10,000 students, maybe 15% of them might have been African American. I can't tell you, you know, but we had a good little group of African Americans. And I started studying about the NAACP. And I said, why don't we have an NAACP chapter here? Never had one in South Louisiana anyway. But I got caught up in the idea that we needed an NAACP chapter. I called to Atlanta, Georgia. I said, what is the stipulations? How do we start an NAACP chapter on the campus? They said, you must sign up. Remember, there's no Zelle, there's no Cash App, there's no smartphones. All you have is phones on the wall. They said, you need to raise 50 people to give you $25. Package it up, put all the money into a money order, have all of the documents signed that they want to be a member, mail it to Atlanta, Georgia, or we'll charter your chapter. I started maybe like in November that year. From November all the way through January. And in Monroe, Louisiana, it sleets and snows and rain and cold. It's not like South Louisiana. It's not like Houston. I was standing in the sleet, the snow, the rain, everything, and got 50 people signed up. And I was 19 years old. And sent it off to Atlanta, Georgia. They sent the charter back. I gave it to a group of African American guys. Barron must have been was in that group. So I'm known because a number of things was going on. Number one, every fraternity asked me to join them. I told them I'm not joining. My dad didn't whip me enough, and y'all not gonna whip me. Okay. I'm in the gospel choir, and in the gospel choir, I'm the chaplain for the gospel choir. So I'm doing Bible study for the gospel choir. I started my own Bible study with my own church background. And there was a Pentecostal non-denominational Bible study that took over. So I have 3 Bible studies. The yearbook shows all this. I'm going, they're calling me square at L7 in college. I'm going berserk because I'm trying to do all this stuff for the Lord. But that's how I got known in the community that way, right? So that's why the guy said, okay, this little preacher boy, it started NAACP. I gave them information. About a month later, I went to the first meeting. I walked into the meeting, about 100-some folk in there. We packed out the whole room. And they were trying to vote on officers and all kind of stuff. I stayed in the meeting maybe 15, 20 minutes and walked away. It was because most people that took over lived in the area. Like Barron lived 30 minutes from the college. Most of the guys lived in Monroe. I live way 4 hours away. So somebody plants, like Barron always say. Someone else water, God gives the increase. All my job was to do was to plant the seed, get the thing chartered, and Barron ran with it, right? That's 1989, 88 or 89. And I became a lifetime charter member because of that. Because if you charter NAACP, you're a lifetime charter member. I was able to use that later when I was in Brenham in the early 90s when I became a pastor, started doing some civil rights movement work. I was able to call down and say, look, I'm a lifetime charter member. I need some backup down here. Or I need some input, right? Because we had some people in NAACP working with us. They said, yeah, you are a lifetime charter member. 2010, I'm into horses now.
Woo!
I'm going all over the internet trying to find horses. I don't know what I'm doing about horses. I'm just buying horses here, buying horses there, selling, buying horses. That's what I did, trying to get the right horse. Barron had a friend that had a horse I was trying to get in North Louisiana. A guy down here where my horses at was trying to sell a horse to Barron. I rent a trailer. Didn't even have a trailer. I rent a trailer. The guy puts the horse on the trailer to Barron. Barron will send him the money. I bring the horse up there to Barron, American Celebrate horse. Try the horse out. The other guy trying to sell it. I couldn't even ride the horse good. That horse had me all over the property. I didn't want to buy the horse. But Barron said, I remember you. You said, man, we went to school together. NAACP. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Man, I'm on Facebook. You on Facebook? Yeah, we're on Facebook. Hey, Facebook friends. The rest is history. Because once Obama was running again in 2012, the political dialogue got heated. He and I would be on back and forth on the pages, talking to other people, back and forth, building that rapport, building our friendship. You know, with Obama versus what's his name? The one that ran against Obama in 2012. He don't have much for Trump himself. I think he retired now. The guy from the Mormon guy that from Utah.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, Pastor, but I don't have it right in front of me. I got a lot of commotion going on behind me, but I'm with you.
You're right. So we built that rapport so that by the time the election came in 2015, when Donald Trump came down the golden escalator, and Blog Talk Radio, by that time, Barron had me on Blog Talk Radio. Barron Glass had me preaching on one day, sermons I had for the past posted another day, had Bible study another day. Come on. We had a political show called Wrap It Up Live on Sunday nights. We're doing all kinds of stuff. And then that's how you was with this thing called Waco something. Remember that? Full State, I can't hear you no more.
I know I had too much noise in the background. Family trying to leave.
Right.
Waco 4th State Trail Ride. I was trying to put on trail rides at that time, and I thought I would get into doing the radio. I met Donnie Walker. And speaking of the NAACP, we also had what's his name? God,
Julian Bond.
Brandon Johnson out of Longview, Texas.
Brandon Johnson, yeah.
And Brandon, and here's what I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna let you finish your story. But Brandon was one of the few people I know that could call Joe Madison, and he didn't go crazy on him.
Yeah.
He didn't go crazy on him because Brandon knew his stuff too.
I called Joe Madison one time, and the topic we had to deal with being a teacher in the school district. And that morning I stayed because you got to stay on like 20 minutes to 30 minutes before you can get in. And I was driving to work. I stayed on long enough to get in. And he said, guys, I told y'all there'd be school teachers out there listening. You hear what this guy had to say? And when I go into a show, because they can't pronounce Aquila, I said my name was Fernell, my middle name. That's why I go by A.F. Riggins, Aquila Fernell. That's a combination of a name. And he says, this guy Fernell just told us what I was trying to tell y'all in real life. What's going on? That's the only time I talked to Joe Madison. My love for Joe Madison, man. I got a number of those watches that he supported, the Ben Benneker watches, Benneker, because the guy who designed Washington D.C., the guy who made the grandfather clock. Come on, they hid all that stuff from us. The guy who, the civil engineer and all that stuff. But anyway, so going back to Barron's story, once you got on Waco 4th State and you and Barron hooked up that way, and things started turning to politics, Miss Pigos became the producer.
Yeah, I don't think they know how much Rihanna played a role in what we were doing.
Yes,
Rihanna's in a different part of her life right now, but man, we had so much going on at that time. And you think that Pastor Riggins was working for Byron Glass? I think at one point we was working with each other at that time.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. Because the majority for me,
coming on mine.
Right, and me to have my own shows, my own Bible studies, my own preaching shows, my own revival shows, and then the politics shows we shared it together. Because Barron had his own show going on Tuesday nights. I had my own thing going on Monday night. This is how this got to this where we have people. So we're not new to this. I'm gonna say it sound like a cliche. We're not new to it. We're true to it.
Yeah.
But the thing about it, I met Ron through Barron. And the first time I saw Ron in person, in his face, was when God was able to bless your family. But he lives right in this area. But that's how God does things. And Barron and I really didn't know each other in college like that. We knew of each other. But he remembered me when I came to go transport a horse and try to buy a horse. That horse took me all over the property. Now, if I bought that horse today, I'd take that horse. He was a McGurdy Tennessee Walker. Big gentle horse. But a big gentle horse, if he was not gentle, he would have bucked me off because I didn't know what I was doing. All he doing was going wherever he wanted to go, and I couldn't stop him. They're like, Rick, I don't know what to do. The horse would take me everywhere. I was new to riding horses. I said, man, I can't ride this horse. I can't sell it. I can't buy it. And left with an empty trailer. But I left with very last information, and the rest is history.
A lot of people don't understand that where you begin is not where you finish.
Yes, sir.
Where we begin and where Byron and Pastor A.F. Riggins began is not where we finish. But we kept on growing. We kept on dedicating our time. We kept on putting in the time. If we would have did what we did, if we would continue from that time forward to now, it ain't no telling where we would be, because it was a long time. Me and pastors, we still talked off and on, but we kind of got lost in the mix for a while, along with Byron Glass, and then finally one day we just decided that it's worth it. It's worth it putting our time back into it to try to right now save the Democratic Party. Pastor says he started an NAACP chapter. That's what it takes. It's going to take people like Pastor Byron Glass and everybody to get involved and save the Democratic Party so we can get a direction. We don't have to agree with everything that they're saying. We don't have to go with everything that they're saying. We don't even have to believe in the people that's in the Democratic Party. But we've got to have a two-party system in order to save this thing that we call a democracy. Or it's going to be what, Pastor?
Authoritarian government. Government, a dictatorship.
You have to invest your time. You have to, and it's going to take time. It's going to take more people than just us, because just as many people as we're out there trying to save, it's people trying to tear down the Democratic Party. If you don't believe me, go out there and listen. They look just like us, same colors, same everything, and they're definitely trying to destroy the Democratic Party. And they're calling out everything that the Democratic Party do, but we have to counter-react that by putting more people out there in our positions to try to at least level the playing field, at least be in the sandbox, at least be on the other side of the seesaw, where it's not just it's out balanced on one end and everything is going downhill. We have to continue to do that, and the only way to I'm waiting for a minute, Pastor, but anyway. Pastor, tell me how important it is for us to continue to do that.
Let me tell you what. Oh, I see somebody there. It's very important because we got a gentleman named Barron Glass who believes in what we're doing with us. Oh, Glass, what's going on? Tell us the story how we know each other from a long time ago.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
I told the story already, but what we're saying now, the same fervor and the same motivation we had back in college, down the NAACP there in Monroe, Louisiana, the same fervor and motivation we need now to save this Democratic Party of the United States. Might not agree every day,
yes,
the way they do it, how they're doing it, but they're our last hope. They are the firewall. May I say, from Louisiana, they're the levee. Okay? The Bible says, listen, I'm going to quote scripture now. When the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard. Let me say it again. When the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard, meaning lift up a levee to block it. same thing speaking now. The Democratic Party has become the standard, the levy to block everything that's going on with what the Trump administration is trying to do. Because he's not even really the truth. He's not really the true Republican Party. The Republican Party has lost themselves into MAGA. And they can't be saved. But the Democratic Party can save America, and we might ready to get back to where we need to be. Go ahead,
BG, give us that statement that you said that you're not gonna come on there without saying it.
What? Say that again, Ryan.
I said, give me that statement that you make it that you're not gonna come on there without saying it. That if we don't save the what?
If we don't win in 2026, what we now know as democracy will be gone. But Ron, here's what I was thinking about earlier, Riggins. What I don't understand is this: every president has had the same power, right, Ron?
Yep.
So I'm just wondering, why didn't Barack, Bush 1, Bush 2, Clinton, why didn't they all use the same power that this man in D.C. is now using? I just don't understand. What is it something that we missing? Is it something that they were afraid to do? Because I'm not understanding that he's able to do all of this stuff, and all of these other people either chose not to do it or didn't know they could do it.
No, they knew they could do it. They chose not to do it because they were not corrupted and evil. See, every action has a motivation behind it. All these other presidents were never motivated with the motives of being corrupt or evil or dominating or trying to. You might have said, well, look at Bush. The stuff he's doing, he doesn't want quorum. Remember Bush was trying to go against affirmative action? He's racist. He really wasn't racist, but you think racist is. Real racism has showed itself. You said, well, look why he did this. Maybe they're trying to cut back taxes and raise taxes and trickle down economics. He's evil. He wasn't evil. His economic situation, the way he talked about economics was different. But this man right here is true to the core evil. You come down and go to Escalator and talked about throwing people out of the country.
Right, but Reagan, still, if Obama had all of this power to do for, low-income people, all these, I mean, something to me. This is just to me now, and I'm not a over office supporter by no stretch. But what I am questioning is somebody either didn't do what they could have done, regardless of how they done it, or they just didn't know that they could do it. Because this man is doing stuff. He's telling you what he's going to do. He's going in and do it. Other people have said that they were going to do something, Ron, and they got in there and did something totally different. So where's Jeffries? Where's all these? Nobody is really, I don't know, man. I'm just, what I do know is this, is that if these same people that we trying to say get in office and they get in here and start throwing curveballs again, we're still doomed. Because you're going to have to correct and change some of the stuff that this man has done, and he'll still continue to do it. Listen, if there's a city, Ron, that's having issues with crime, why didn't Obama do that?
See, but I'm thinking, let me say this. On one point, I'm going to agree with you. If he had all this power, why didn't he do more good, like to help out more people?
Right.
With the stroke of a pen, and then didn't make the Supreme Court come after them to stop them.
Right.
Another thing, when we come back to about the citizen crime, the Democratic Party never wanted to look like that they wanted to use the police on people.
No, Rick, I'm not saying go to that extent. What I'm saying is that you can skin a cat more than one way. And yeah. what I'm asking is, if Obama, here's the deal: if the person that's in office now is helping 1% of the people, then surely Obama and Clinton and Bush could have been in there and helped more people that's outside of the 1%, but they didn't do that.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I think a lot of times they tried to play too much by the rules, where they thought they were
exactly. Well, here's the deal, Rick. What are the rules? Trump is extending the rules. So that's what I'm saying. Did we miss something? I guess is my question. I'm not denouncing nothing that has been said. We're all on the same page. I'm just asking these questions because, see, I'm thinking outside the box now. I'm trying to figure out, did these people lie like they've always done? Were they cowards like they've always been? Or what's there? Because I'm trying to pinpoint, why did these people not do what they were capable of doing?
Okay. Here's and I'm agreeing with you that they could have done a lot more in some areas, but let me tell you for the basic premise, it's supposed to be a balanced government. It's supposed to be House of Representatives, executive, Congress, executive, and Supreme Court. Trump has decided, I'm going to take the executive office and supersede everybody. I'm going to break the rules, and then I'm going to let you spend 5 or 6, 7 years going on to the Supreme Court to take power back from me. He grabbed power and say, now, come get me. Whereas these other guys try to play by the rules. They say, well, we're going to let Congress pass a law like it's supposed to be. A bill is a bill until it gets to Capitol Hill. Remember that Schoolhouse Rock? Let them pass the bill, and then we're going to sign it into law. And then if they veto it, we'll try to override the veto. Well, Trump will say, well, I don't want to go through that process. I'm going to just go ahead and make an executive order. Now, y'all come stop me.
So, Riggins, is it something wrong with the tactic that he used? Maybe he just outsmarted everybody.
Yeah, right. The founding fathers didn't they said they never looked at maybe somebody might do this. So there's a kink in the system.
Okay.
And so Obama probably should have done that.
Well, and again, I'm not saying what he should or should not have done. I'm just asking the question: if we now know that the president has all of this power, why didn't these other people use all of this power to help more people? Because
Baron.
Go ahead.
You know what you're saying, Baron. And this is the thing that got me, and I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. When you can come up on stage after he does all of this stuff, and the first words out of your mouth, if I would have did this, you didn't even try. You didn't even try. Don't come back and tell me if I would have done that, I would have been out of office. You never got to the board. You never risked your presidency over any issues. I'm gonna leave that alone. I ain't going there, Byron. I'm gonna stop right there.
Well, no. Again. Remember, we're just trying to enlighten and inform. So I'm just asking questions that I've thought about over the last 3 or 4 months because I'm curious to know what is it that this man has got that other people did not have, and if they had it, I'm just trying to figure out what was the reason why they did not use it or they did not use more of it. So I'm not critiquing or anything. I'm just asking a general question. So, because remember, Ron, I'm not going to stay inside the box. We know that there were some errors made. So my question is again, if Obama was more for the 99 percenters, why didn't he do more for the 99 percenters? I guess is the question that I'm asking. Or
outside using Congress. Outside of using Congress, why didn't he use executive powers?
Right. So I guess this is the question, Riggins. Does executive power really have power that they were afraid to use? Because it's apparent that this guy's using it and he's getting away with a lot of stuff that he's doing. And I'm not saying treat people inhumane. I'm not saying put police on. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that if there's crime that's out there, why couldn't they utilize some of the same option, maybe to a lesser degree, than what this man has done? I'm just posing what if. So it may not be an answer to it.
We can't leave out Biden in that either, Glass.
Remember, that's why I said Biden. That's why I said Obama. That's why I said Clinton. That's why I said Bush 1 and Bush 2. Hey, y'all excuse me for 1 second. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, go on. Go on and do the conversation.
Yeah, so I just want to say that Byron makes a good point. Me and Pastor Regan's been trying to get you guys to understand tonight that we got to play within the sandbox. We got to keep two parties within the sandbox. If they build a castle over there, we need to build a castle too. If they on the seesaw, we need to be on the other end of the seesaw trying to balance it out. It ain't gonna always be in our favor. And we're asking Obama to miraculously change his presidency and come out. But what I don't like, don't defend what you don't have to come out to the American public and defend what you did, because this man is stepping on this. He's going to eventually step on his own feet. But it's kind of sad that you have to come out and qualify that if you would have did that, and what that's basically saying is what Glass was saying. Those presidents had the right to do the same thing that he's doing, from Obama to Biden to anybody else that was out there, but he did it. So now you want to come out because he did it and say, if you would have did it, no, I don't want to hear that. You were in the same position he was, and I don't know how to explain it.
And crime in Washington D.C. was worse then. See, what the sad thing about it now, crime in Washington D.C. is down, and Trump is doing it. When Obama was in the office, crime in Washington D.C. was real bad. You remember when the mayor of Washington D.C. got caught up with crack?
I know who you're talking about. I know his name. I can see him. They reelected him as a crackhead.
Buried somebody, yeah. Remember that?
They reelected him in D.C. as a crackhead, but you didn't. It wasn't nothing that you could do at that time. Pastor, I still say, and Glass, I know you're there, but I still say we need to save the Democratic Party, because if we don't, it's going to only be one bully in the sandbox, Glass.
Well, but Spikes, how can you save somebody if they don't want to listen to your ideas and your goals and your objectives? And I think we all agree, and that's what we've been doing for 12, 13, 14 years or whatever. We may not have a loud audience, but I think our points of views are just as valid, if not more valid, because we're not beholden to some donor or some oil company or some tycoon out there. We're just speaking straight facts. All I want is what's right, and what's wrong is what's wrong. Let's deal with it. Again, Riggins, I think all of us right here now disagree with Barack Obama when he did not fight for his Supreme Court justice. He wanted to play sissy. He wanted to play whatever, and he got outnumbered, he got outsmarted, and as a result of that, look at the court now.
But let me tell you the ramification of that. Not only was Merrick Garland, I say his name?
Merrick Garland.
Not only did he not get on the Supreme Court, so then Biden turned around and gave him the booby prize. And the booby prize would be Attorney General. And he messed up there. Because from day one, Eric Holder, Hillary Clinton, because remember, she's a lawyer.
Yep.
I believe if Kamala Harris wouldn't have been the vice president but the Attorney General, from day one, they'd have went straight at the head of the snake. You don't go to tail of the snake. 1,500 people put them in prison and jail and wait around playing with Trump, and guess when Trump wins, he take them all out of jail. You cut off the head at the top. Hey,
Riggins, I think Ron is going to agree with this, and I think you will too. I think, Ron, I'm gonna say this, and it may hurt some feelings. You know why we are in the condition that we are now? Because the Democrats failed to do what they should have done.
I ain't worried about it. My feelings not hurt. That's the truth.
No, not you. I'm saying people that may be diehard Democrats. My point is that had Merrick Garland did what he could have done, we wouldn't be in this situation. Had Barack did what he needed to do, we wouldn't be in this situation. So again, at the end of the day, when the smoke is clear and the dust is settled, if you don't whip the kid or chastise a kid when they're young, when they get old and started doing whatever, whose fault is it, Ron? It's the parent fault. Right. I look at this. I look at this the same way. Now the question is, if they are given the same tools again, what will they do different? That's what I want to hear, Riggins. Why should we consider voting for you? What are you going to do different? What will you do different now that because they still playing softball? They still scared to do what they need to do. Who's on television talking? Nobody.
Nobody's holding them accountable, Glass, and I agree with you. One of the things that we're not trying to hold them accountable. What we're trying to do is say that what you did when you was in office, it wasn't in line with what you're saying now.
Right.
This guy has created his own rules, and you had the same authority to do the same thing that he's done. But you're asking a lot now, because those same people that were behind you then, you never created somebody to come out behind you and do anything. Even through Obama, through Biden. And this is a thing that I hold both of them this is the thing I hold Biden accountable for. He never changed the rules of what they was trying to make Pence do. They never brought up that change or trying to change it where when it got to that point, it's not going to change. They never tried to change that. In effect, they left it in place. So it could still happen today that somebody could go down that path if they wanted to. That's what I hold the Biden accountable for, because they never changed the simple things. They never came. I don't even think I heard them come out and talk about it. But
hey guys, I hate to say this, but I'm back at work now.
Got you. And we're gonna get out of here, Pastor. I want to let Byron come back. I'm gonna let Byron come back in, say a few words, and then we're gonna close it out. I know you're back at work, Pastor. And I told you we do this thing voluntarily.
6:15 in the morning. Yes, sir.
Come on, BG.
I'm trying to mute my mic because I'm trying to order something and I don't want it to be heard.
Pizza.
Okay, well, mute the mic. Mute the mic.
I'm trying to mute it. It won't mute.
It's muted now.
It is muted.
It's muted now.
You muted. The only thing we can see is your face. You muted.
All right.
But when you get, I want to get you back on if you can. If you can't, I'm gonna let Pastor go into prayer because he has to go to work tomorrow, and we're gonna try to go from there. Byron Glass, if you want to say anything, just come on right now. And I know it's a pizza with pepperoni, extra cheese, a meat lover special.
Regan's telling me he got to go back to work, man. I'm still working from this morning, man.
I understand, but I gotta be, I gotta go at 5 o'clock every morning, be at 6:15, brother.
That's all right, man. Hey, all right, Pastor. Go ahead on, close us out.
Close us out, Pastor, and then I'm gonna dialogue with Byron Glass after you get through with the prayer.
Okay, all right, guys. Hey, guys, people that are watching live or archive on this YouTube, two gents in the mic. All we're trying to do is make a positive impact on our community, our city, and our world. We have different points of views, different backgrounds, different stories, different experiences, but we're all going the same way. And tonight, we want to let you know we need to save the Democratic Party to save our democracy. Lord, we thank you for the opportunity to share and spend time in dialoguing and getting this word out to the public. And Lord, we thank you for this platform to be able to reach people in ways for positive change. We leave this platform not your presence. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Pastor, thank you for the dialogue tonight. We're going to go ahead and let you go. I'm going to see if I still got Byron on, and we're going to talk for a little bit longer, and then we're going to get out of here. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you.
Well, Byron left out here too, so I'm going to end the show. On that note, I'm going to say thank God for everything that's going on. Byron left out of here as faster than Pastor did. So we're going to go ahead and say good night, everybody. Enjoyed the show. Look forward to y'all coming on next Tuesday. Thank you, Pastor.
Okay, man.